is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
We are in a situation.
Stampede, go you Dallas Cowboys!
It may be December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, but I'm going to wish each of you a Happy New Year
thank you.
On this edition of Mick Shots.
Before Merry Christmas, huh?
Before Merry Christmas, it's Happy New Year. The New Year started about 3:30 yesterday afternoon. And let me tell you, if this football team plays like they did on Sunday night every single game, then no one should have any complaints.
That's right. And if they continue, they may finish 9-8.
That's right. They might have the 20th pick in the draft.
I just want to point out that we may be the only ones that picked the game correctly.
Really?
We almost got it exactly right.
We had
27-24.
Well, you know, I think we all go with the same thing, first of all, because we don't really score over 20-plus points. Mm-hmm. So that's why we always stay in that whole area.
Yeah.
But also, the good thing, defensively, we don't give up really more than 24, 25 points in these last, 5 games.
Yep.
I saw
That's impressive.
1 4 out of 5.
As the
That's
game was
impressive.
progressing, I'm going, okay, 27-24.
It was going to be hard to get to 27.
Yeah.
Well, if they'd quit kicking field goals, scored me a touchdown.
Once they got to 26, I figured they weren't getting to 27.
Mm-hmm. And I think your pick to click wins.
Deron Bland?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell of a play.
It took until the last play of the game, basically.
But
no, I know where you're going.
Mike Evans did not score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He had like 5 catches for 60 yards. You could live with that. And he was predominantly fouling him.
And he didn't have a pick.
He did not
but
have
he might
2
as well
picks.
have had a
He
pick
had a turnover. It was a turnover.
in the last play. He picked the pocket of that running
huge.
back.
That was
That's right.
huge. Because I
Almost as huge as Lewis's interception. How does he do that?
how's that?
Stay
Jordan
after it.
Lewis.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
Huh?
I told y'all, that's my stud. That's my guy. I'm sorry. He is, he's shown it all year long. I don't know why I didn't see it last year. I think because, our secondary was just so weird. But he has always shown that toughness, and I kind of missed it last year. This year,
Well,
it
he
seems
was
like
coming
he
back
can't-
from that foot injury, remember?
But, he's shown toughness before that foot injury, and I missed it. And to see just how it's like he's mad at somebody out there. Really, he is upset at somebody during the game. It's like he tries to find someone for his motivation to go all out and just try and embarrass
A
somebody.
week or 2 ago, someone asked him where he got that attitude he plays with, that fight. And he goes, because I was always the smallest guy on the field.
Yeah. And when you look at how he
Don't
did not
mess
give
with us
up on
small
that
guys.
play. I'll shut up, let him enjoy his moments of short people. But, no, I just enjoyed how he tracked the ball. He caught it quickly because at first he was just looking at the wide receiver. Once he turned around, he immediately saw it, and he saw it going into the receiver's hands, and he was not going to let him have it. I don't think he was really going for the interception.
No.
I think he was just going to strip it out, but there it is.
He ended up with the ball. Jerry called it the best interception he's ever seen.
That's a hell of an interception.
There may be another reason why he's played like that this year, because he's been on a 1-year deal,
Ever since he's been here.
No, he was on a 3-year. I was just looking at his contract history.
He had a
He was on a 3-year, $13.5 million deal up until this year, we're averaging $4.5 million a year. And then this year, on the heels of having the injury a year or so prior, his market was 1 year, $2.8 million, which is good money, but it's a 1-year deal at age 29.
Right.
And so he knows that that'll make you play when you have his years of service and what he means to the team. You'll play perturbed.
and I think also because of how this defense has been going, I think he has seen it as an opportunity to be a leader. You know, I don't think he just kind of stumbled into this and I'm just playing hard, and now I'm just going to make a few plays. I think by design, he knows that he is one of the leaders on this team.
He's pretty outspoken, too.
That's good. That's good. I think he has accepted that. Whether we want to call him a leader or not, he is a leader on this team.
So there's another priority in the offseason. Is to get Jordan Lewis re-signed. There's a whole bunch of them.
To the Osa and whoever else we've been talking.
I'll throw Chauncey Golston into the mix there. You know,
he's kind of Golston's kind of in that boat where Dorrance Armstrong was this past year.
We'll lose him.
Now he does. Well, he doesn't have the sack totals that Armstrong
but
has.
But he's got a career high 4.
But what he's meant to this team. I mean, he's not a guy that's going to have 8 sacks in a season.
Right.
But he as a
inside outside guy.
The league is
versatility.
Full of them. The league is full of them, and they need them.
Yeah.
And it just showed this year that you need them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. Pull back the curtain. Did you watch the whole Washington-Philadelphia game?
I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched what I needed to watch.
All right. And when it was over, your thoughts?
I was sad.
I was like, I think I'll just write my story from home.
I was sad.
I don't want to drive
I stayed
to
home
the
all day.
stadium.
Yeah, I stayed home all day yesterday.
Just the way it turned out.
I had it on the whole time, and I wasn't focused on every play, but I was focused enough to know what happened, and I went straight to the gym.
And what are the odds, man? I know, right?
No, think about it.
Come on, man.
They just need Philadelphia to do what they're supposed to do.
What they have been doing for 10 straight games.
Like, with 9 minutes left in the first quarter, Jalen Hurts goes out with a concussion, right? Yeah. And I didn't realize this when Pickett came in, but afterwards I looked it up. Mm-hmm. He had only attempted 3 passes all year. He had only played 7 snaps.
Not surprised.
And I'm going, you know them football gods that have been punishing the Cowboys all year? Here's another one. We're just going to
Here's another one. Here is another one.
Right?
That's exactly what I thought.
No kidding.
Here we go, right here.
And then Josh Sweat goes out.
Well, and as Greg Olson, in regards to the Hurts injury, as Greg Olson pointed out earlier in the game, the importance of Hurts on that offense. It's like and the advantage he gives on that offense with the whole tush push and all that stuff. It's like 1st and 9 instead of 1st and 10 every time they have the football.
And how many times did they end up in like 3rd and short or 4th and short, and they're trying to throw
That's
the
right.
ball?
Now it's a totally different
push.
Yeah, and so that's why at the end of the game they have to kick field goals rather than run out the clock.
Exactly.
At the end of the game.
He is. Well, if you didn't know, he's extremely important to this team
and then
to this offense.
And then Slay goes out. Then Gardner Johnson gets ejected for his 2nd personal foul, and I'm going, this is unreal.
It's crazy.
This ain't happening, right?
We saw Philadelphia do something that we hadn't seen them do before, and that's just panic. They gave it up like we would give it up.
You know what I think happened? I think somebody told the Philadelphia team about midway of the 3rd quarter. They said, if you lose this game, the Cowboys will be eliminated from the playoffs. And so they decided.
They're not that petty, are they?
I think they decided they would rather that happen than them still be in the hunt for a first-round bye.
So you think the
Philadelphia Eagles. The
take was on when Devontae Smith is going to catch a 1st down pass, maybe a touchdown pass, to seal the game.
Come on, man.
Not only does he drop it, he drops it twice.
Come on,
because
man.
he's going to double clutch it, and he dropped it again.
And some of the wide open receivers that the Commanders had, I'm just sitting there
Oh,
going,
my
someone's
God.
told the Eagles that this will eliminate the Cowboys.
It was just unbelievable.
You think Sirianni just made the call?
That's right.
Okay, guys.
Hey, guys, I just found this out.
I mean,
We lose this game, the Cowboys are eliminated.
and I'm just sitting there going, we got to cover 3 more games. We got to cover talk 3 more weeks or 2 more weeks against games that don't mean anything.
All right, but fast forward
Yes.
to 11 o'clock last night, and how did you feel about covering
I
2 more
thought
games?
It
after?
was 9-8. Let's go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I felt the same thing.
Yeah,
That,
I
what?
felt better just watching how they played. That game is pretty much what I've been looking for with them. Not a lot of penalties offensively. Didn't see a lot that really hurt us in certain situations. We made some mistakes, but the way we played as a unit, defensively we complemented our offense very well and vice versa. I really enjoyed watching that game. Down at the end, it got kind of tight, but I still had a little confidence that we'll be okay.
I had basically, after watching that game, I said, well, this game doesn't matter. I had half my column written before the game started, explaining everything. And then the way it turned out, I was like, okay, throw that away. We got to start again.
Right.
Because what they did. And by the way, did you guys do a pregame show?
Yesterday morning, yeah.
But not at the
Not at the
stadium.
Not the stadium, no.
When I drove into the stadium, I got there about 3 hours before kickoff. And there was no traffic. And I'm going, oh, these people they're not even coming now, right? Well, the place filled up. They're getting ready for the kickoff. And all these people are up waving their towels. And I'm going, don't they know what just happened? Right?
What
And
percentage do you think knew that they were eliminated?
I have no idea. Maybe
The thought occurred
they
to me. I
didn't.
bet 80% of the fans in there had no clue.
You
that
think so?
And
I wouldn't be.
and
Well, I
maybe-
know. Well, okay. This is the reason I say that. I know my daughter and her family were there,
Yeah.
and I guarantee you nobody in that family knew or cared. They're just going for the experience of
Right.
going to a game.
Right.
We've got some other friends whose kids were at the game. Those kids don't care. They're just going for the experience of going to a game. They want to see their team win. I think we're in the minority here, and people that are listening to these podcasts, okay, in that there are a bunch of fans who can't go on a regular basis, and they're casual fans. They like the Cowboys, but they're casual fans. But when they go, they want to see their team win.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether they're in the playoff hunt or not.
Well,
And I would agree with you on that, but I would say, based on the way you described it, these were not season ticket holders. These were the
Maybe they just
these were the
get a chance
people
to
that
get a ticket.
you fix my pool. Hey, you wanna take tickets?
And I know the 5 people or 7 people that I just described. They are not season ticket
Right,
holders.
right.
They got tickets from
Right,
somebody else,
right.
and so they're going for
they're going for a good time, for
the
an
value of
experience, for the AT&T
That's
Cowboy
right.
experience.
Yeah, and for
Ever
the kids
since-
going,
But I
they'll
think
remember that
I still
like I
think-
remember going with my dad to go watch the Cowboys
But
play.
I still think
Yeah.
that they knew what was going on. I still think that
And
they
we
knew.
can vouch for
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
people because after we finished our Star Sports Tour presentation, they all knew what was on
Yes,
the line.
yes,
Right?
that's
So there
right.
was 50 people there that, by God,
I
knew.
would say that for the most part, you had casual football fans.
But
were
they
casual
stayed
fans.
to
Yeah.
the end,
Yeah.
and they gave that team a standing ovation at the end
That's
when they
good.
were kneeling down.
That's good.
It was unbelievable.
That's nice.
That it turned out that way. So
They weren't like us cynics who
Right,
say,
like,
what
"Oh,
about the
God."
draft pick? What about that top 10 draft
Well,
pick?
you know
He
what?
just
Some-
fell 4 spots in the draft.
I don't know. I got the feeling that, and I think long time. And you tell me if you're a player, you're not sitting there watching that game on pins and needles and
Right.
getting emotional because you know you got to play and you don't want to waste your energy, right?
Right.
So a lot of those guys, like I talked to Cooper Beebe and I said, "Did you know what happened beforehand?" And he goes, "I found out on the bus ride in."
Yeah.
So he didn't watch the game.
Right.
I talked to Nick Vigil and was like, so what was your reaction?
Hell? What happened to him? Where did he come from?
Right?
What is going on?
He's a veteran guy that's been in reserve in case he's needed.
It was his third start in 3 years.
Wow.
And he played 69 snaps in the game. I think he played maybe all but.
He was the leading tackler in the game.
He had 10 tackles.
I thought it was like 13.
When I was looking, he had 69 of 72 snaps. Prior to that, this year, he had 50. I think it was 56 total snaps in 14 games. So he had 13 more snaps than he had all season.
Yeah.
And played his ass off.
He sure did, bro.
But in his career, I mean, he's a former third-round draft pick out of Utah State. And earlier in his career, now in 23, he only played, bless you,
Thank you,
8 games with Minnesota last year. He's now 31 years old. And 4 games, 2 starts with Arizona in 2022. So he's been battling injuries the last couple of years. Prior to that, he was a 12-game starter with Minnesota in 2021 and with the Chargers for a year. And then he started his career with Cincinnati, where he made a total of 37 starts. 37 starts his first 4 years in the league. So he's been a starter in this league.
Okay.
And now he's a journeyman veteran guy, and he was signed because he was familiar, had played for Zimmer in 2021 in Minnesota. He's familiar with the system, and in case Eric Kendricks ever went down with injuries, that he would be there in reserve. And they gave him a shot, and that's what he did.
I mean, you basically, and I'm not going to totally consider Leofau a backup linebacker, but in their nickel formation, it was Overshown, and now he's got to start. So you had 2 backups starting at linebacker, a backup at defensive end for sure, maybe the third backup or second backup, and then a backup at cornerback, and then he goes out. Thank God it was only 1 snap. When I saw Booth coming in, I'm going, maybe they'll put C.J. Goodwin in. At least he knows what's going on, right?
Well, there was a wide open receiver on that play.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
I didn't look to see who was at fault on it, but all I know is there wasn't another defender in the vicinity.
It seems like we always have this at the end of the games, bro.
Actually, it was Bland and Jordan Lewis on that side. Somebody was supposed to go with the guy
they need
that
to stop
to
this,
the
man,
middle.
because
That was the same. Now, this was the opposite.
Yeah.
It was the slant guy that didn't get the slot guy that didn't get covered.
Golly,
but they both
man.
were looking at the wide guy. But anyway, so all these guys, and McCarthy did a good job, I think, of reading the room, because when he was asked, did you have to talk to the guys about, okay, we understand. He goes, I was watching and no one was talking about it because no one was saying anything. He goes, now there might have been one-on-one conversations about Washington winning and us being eliminated. He said, so I decided to just go. We're going to win.
Right.
We're going to play. And he said the only adjustment he made when they had their Friday or Saturday meeting on how they were going to conduct the game, they were going to defer if they won the coin toss. And he goes, when we won the coin toss and I saw what was going on, I said, we're taking the ball.
Yeah.
By God, yes, take the ball.
That's what we talked about last week. Yes.
And just drive down and get some momentum
Put
and
the
get the
pressure on
juices
them.
going.
Yeah,
That's right.
put the
You
pressure on
drive that 30 yards down the field
That's
and kick
right.
that 58-yard
Kick
field
that
goal.
58-yard field goal. My God, is that guy unbelievable? By the way,
Man, you make it sound like we're some wimps or something, man. We're just trying to get 3 points, bro. See, you making it sound like we're just,
You know what? They had three field goal drives in the first half that were all exactly 30 yards, and it was a 58-yarder or whatever, a 40-something yarder, and then another 58-yarder.
49-yarder.
49-yarder.
Short of 50.
That's right, and then another 58-yarder.
And
They
you
were
know
all
what?
30-yard
going
drives.
like, he's going for some record or something.
Think about that. Now, he's turned in like the 50-yarders are the new 40s. I mean,
Well,
it was just like
he has, I think, as much or more than any other kicker for 50-plus yards.
for a single season.
For a single season.
14 now.
14
So
now.
he now has the NFL record.
Okay. Oh, he does have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was 13. Fairbairn.
Fairbairn.
Bairn or whatever. How do you
like
say
said,
it?
Fairbairn.
Yeah, but it's Barn. Barn.
Weird, yeah. Fairbairn.
He had it at 13, so now he passed him with 2 games to go,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
But and he's another one. He had they gave him I guess it was NBC after the game. They gave him like a laminated ball. I don't know if it said player of the game or whatever, but he's got the ball. And I said, "Oh, you got one of those ball?" I meant the 50-yarders. It was like, no, it was the after game ball, and he was putting it in his backpack like this was a really big deal.
It is.
right?
I don't even know what. I mean, they gave it to him, right?
I didn't know if they did it like a presentation on the field.
I think on the post-game
afterwards,
show.
post-game.
That's
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
And he was like, he goes, if we had to play a game, you're not going to go out there and not try to win, right? And that was the attitude through the whole bunch. And God bless him, because
I agree.
I tell you, I was down and out. I was just like,
I started to text you guys and go, well.
Yep.
it's been a good one, huh?
Yeah, that's how I was going to put, well, that's it.
But they came out and played. And you know,
most of the guys playing in the game are playing for next year too.
Oh, exactly. That's why, and I heard it I had to change the station. I heard it on the radio. Well, they're just messing up that draft choice, and it's like, no, these are human beings you're dealing with. You're not dealing with trading stock, right?
Well,
and there's
that's
no
the way
guarantee.
the media looks at it sometimes. That's
they're
always
not
been the case.
The entertainers,
Right.
Okay. Next segment, we'll discuss more about the game.
Yes.
And at some point, I want to pose the question: who should be the starting quarterback in Philadelphia? Okay, because I've got a thought on that, and we may do it in the last segment because I know you got a notebook full of things from last night's game you want to get to probably first. But okay, Mick Shots continues in a moment.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Capture a frame-worthy family photo with Santa at the Star, presented by Monument Realty. Santa will be spreading holiday cheer at his Cowboys-themed cottage in the Star District from November 22nd through December 24th. For more information and to book your visit, head to thestardistrict.com/Santa.
All right, we got some breaking news regarding Cowboys-Eagles on Sunday. The game has been flexed to a noon kickoff Texas time.
When you say flex, that flex is when you move up.
Not
Flex
move
ain't
down.
when you move
They
down.
did. They moved up the start
They
time
did
from
move
3:25
up the start time. Yeah, okay.
Green Bay, Minnesota is now in the 3:25 window, and Cowboys, Eagles, noon kickoff. So Mickey, you'll get home earlier on Sunday night.
Got to behave myself Saturday night.
That's right. It's an early wake-up call for you.
Philadelphia's a fun town, by the way. Mm-hmm. On Saturdays. Sundays, I don't know what happens when they get to the stadium.
Oh, yeah. All right, so where do you want to start on your legal pad?
Trying to think of what I thought was important afterwards.
I'll tell you what's important, and I guess we could have continued from the last segment. The team has not given up on themselves.
Right.
That part right there. To me, that gives us the incentive. I'm sorry, I'm just not about, let's go ahead and, as we were going to talk about, start putting in some replacement players. I want us to ruin other people's chances. I want us to go in and say, okay, this is a meaningful game to us, whatever way you want to think of it. It's meaningful even though it's not going to send us to the playoffs. It's meaningful because I want to stop them from beating us and for enjoying themselves, going to the playoffs. I want to be a factor for the end of this year. And if my team is playing for me the way this team is playing for their coach right now, I'm not going to interrupt that. I'm not going to interrupt that. If guys want to play for next year and another contract, that's great. Show me what you can do now. Show somebody else what you can do now. But play for this team until this season's over.
So I was going to point this out. Bill's got his I didn't bring – no, I don't have it. What did Washington and Philly do their two games they've played?
All right, hold on, and I will let you know.
Because think about this. If Washington beats,
Washington won yesterday.
Right. What'd they do? That's what I meant the first time around.
And first time around, Commanders. Philly won 26-19 the first time around. 26-18 on November 14th, so they have split.
Okay. And if I can find this real quick, their division records right now, Philly's 3-1 and Washington's 3-2. So I was thinking if the Cowboys beat Philadelphia,
it would drop them to 12-4 overall,
and Washington
3-2 in the
Atlanta,
division.
They would move to 11-5. They'd be one game back.
Don't go there. You know who the Eagles play the last game?
The Giants.
The Giants.
All right.
All they had to do was look at you.
Never mind.
You knew who it was.
It's a good thought.
It would be pretty cool, right?
It's a good thought.
So what would that have done? Where were you?
So
I was just thinking.
So if the Eagles lost their last two, they could wind up 12-5.
Mm-hmm. And if Washington won
its last two,
they
you're suggesting the Cowboys should just throw that game just to screw the Eagles like the Eagles
right?
just screwed them?
Yeah, right. We'll get back at you.
Wait, all those notes over there that you took, that's what you came up with, huh?
It occurred to me. It occurred to me.
And that would, in the division record, then the Commanders would be 4-2 in the division, and the Eagles would be 3-3. So if that happened, Washington could win the NFC East, and get a home game.
But the Giants had to.
But the Giants would have to beat
the
Eagles.
When would we know about Jalen Hurts' situation?
A concussion protocol.
I mean, a lot of times it takes a week.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
He was trying to jump back in the game.
Yeah, he looked good.
Did you see him when he was giving the referee thumbs up, like, I'm good? And he's looking at his eyes, probably going, no, you're not. You go back in the tent. Because he went back in the second time, and that's when they
and he's not a
out.
demonstrative person, so you would think they're working to his favor, but obviously he didn't.
Yeah. What a crazy game that was. Barkley ran for 123 yards the first half.
Yeah.
The first half.
And I recall when he ran for that
68-yarder.
Yeah, the 68-yarder. I was thinking, you know, they're really feeling good about themselves right now, but I could see that all going to hell. For some reason, they just seemed like they were a little bit too confident after he ran that touchdown. And I could see them losing that game even with the efforts of Saquon Barkley. And sure enough, that's what happened.
When they converted, was it a 4th and 11 and Washington went for it and Daniels ran for 29 yards, I'm going, okay, this is about to change. And sure enough.
Because you can't get that
They
young
turned the
kid.
ball over 6 times and won.
Yeah. Because he threw 5 touchdowns.
First time, did you see that stat?
No.
That's either the first time since or the most since Mark Rippon in 1991 for one of their quarterbacks to throw that many touchdown passes.
And the first rookie quarterback to throw for like a comeback?
Whatever it was.
And it was 5 turnovers.
5 turnovers.
5 turnovers for
5
Washington.
turnovers and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But he's the first like rookie quarterback to make 2 comebacks in the same season or something like that.
You know what I think's happening with these quarterbacks that are scrambling and running? People are scared to hit them because they think they're going to slide and we're going to hit them late.
Well, that's fine, but that's fine when it comes to the offensive linemen and the D linemen and the linebackers. But in the secondary, you got to stay with your man.
Right.
That has never changed. You know, you practice that drill all the time. You have to stay with your man on the scramble. And the problem with it is it's like they're playing basketball. Playing DB is a lot like playing basketball, but the difference is when you're playing football, you have to also know where the damn football is. You can't just be in the secondary looking at him, waiting on him to look. No, it's time for you also to figure out where that quarterback is and where the danger points are, especially priority-wise. What's the most dangerous plays and throws that he can make on me right now, from whether he's here or whether he's scrambled all the way back over here. You have to change your approach on how you cover your man, but you still have to know where the quarterback is, and they're not. And
You're right.
That's why it makes them look so good.
All right, what was your question?
You want to get to it now?
Sure.
Or you want to go to a break and then come back with it?
Oh, it's already 32.
Damn, that was fast.
Let's, okay, well, I'm going to pose the question. I'll wait until after the break before I ask the question when Mick Shots continues in a moment.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
Tis the season for youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at dance camps on December 27th and former NFL players at football camps on December 27th. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys and register today at dallascowboys.com/camps.
Okay, I got two questions to pose in this final segment here. Okay, the first one, which we don't need to spend a lot of time on, but I do want to know the answer to this, Mickey. On the pregame, Mike McCarthy told Brad Sham that Chuma Edoga and Tyler Guyton would split the reps at left tackle in the game, and that Tyler had maybe his best week of practice. Okay.
But
in the game, Chuma had 53 snaps and Tyler had 7 snaps. What happened?
Chuma started.
Right, Chuma started, and he was
the
the first two
possessions.
Yes,
and then
Guyton, it was a 3-and-out possession. And because I had to go back, I was so busy at work last night. I had to watch the game again after I got home, and I saw the possession in the first half when he went in.
The third play. Well, the first play was a false start by Steele. First and 15. They got a 10-yard a dump off to Rico for 10. It was 2nd and 5 at the 25, and David Guyton just whiffed on him.
Yeah, and it was a 3-yard loss at Dowdle. Yeah, okay, and then it was incomplete behind Ferguson, first play of the second quarter.
And then
next
Edoga
possession came back the next possession, whatever.
Right.
I'm not sure where Guyton went back in for 4 snaps later.
I don't know if I wrote it down, seeing him in there or not, but
okay,
kind of changed.
So there wasn't an injury involved in this with Guyton.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So do you think the 30 yards rushing had anything to do with Guyton not coming back in? Because I don't think Udoka did any better.
But Guyton 7 snaps, Edoga 53. They decided to go with Edoga.
Yeah.
And now they did a good job pass protection.
They did.
You know what? Tampa Bay, I think, made the bet. You're not going to beat us running the ball. If you can beat us throwing it, so be it. Because they were all over the line of scrimmage.
Yes, they were.
I think they didn't want to take a chance on making a change there because they were getting decent enough pass protection. Yeah,
I think you're right,
and of course they used the long handoff.
The Cowboys knew they were going to have. I mean, think of what they did the first 3 plays of the game. Pass, right? So he was thinking, okay, I don't know how we're going to handle Vita Vea, and they're crowding the line of scrimmage.
And before the game, the coach doesn't know how his team's going to play.
Right.
And so if Guyton was prepared, if the game flips and goes the other way, they might have split reps.
Right.
But as it turned out, they had the lead. Things were going well. So why switch it up now?
I mean, I think 5 of their first 6 plays were passes.
Right.
6 of their 7 plays were passes.
Guyton must have been on an extremely short leash.
Yeah.
For them to just say, okay, first drive we didn't do much
because he was practicing. I mean, he was practicing,
and they do that and of course they do that by series. And so Edoga went the first 2, which were, and then third series Guyton came in. So Edoga came in for the 4th series, and then the 5th series was with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and now you're getting into 2 minute into the half. So anyway, I don't know. All right, now here's the other question I have, because the question is now going to be who should start at quarterback for the Cowboys at Philadelphia at noon Sunday and then at home against Washington. My larger question that I have, and it relates to the last 2 games of this season, who's going to be the backup quarterback for this team next year?
And you can put that in that little bucket we have of priority signings.
And are they having that conversation today? Because you've got 2 backup quarterbacks right now in Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. that their contract is up.
Right.
So a decision has to be made between now and March 17th or whatever, who your backup quarterback is going to be. And so if you have that conversation with the coaches, and the other part of this is who's going to be coaching the team. But if Jerry has this conversation with his coaches today, is that a question that he poses? Who's going to be the starting quarterback next year? And how many starts does Cooper Rush have in his career? Around a dozen. I haven't looked it up.
I was going to say 10.
Yeah, 10, 12, whatever it is. Cooper Rush needs reps. Wouldn't you? If he's going to be your backup quarterback next year, doesn't it behoove you to get him as much playing time as possible? If the same situation arises next year and you are actually in first place in your division and you need that quarterback to come in. I don't know. That's just
well to me with Cooper Rush, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to keep him and get him his reps, he can get his reps next training camp. He can get his reps next preseason. I'm not worried about Cooper Rush right now because he's doing pretty well. The fact that Cooper Rush is winning games for us again, even though it started off slowly, he's winning games for us again. And if it wasn't for what was going on with other teams, we could very well be talking about still got a chance to be in the playoffs. We could very well be still talking about that with Cooper Rush doing a very decent job. I'm not putting the young boy in right now.
okay.
I'm just not putting him in. I'm just not putting him in. If once again, we can fight this out in training camp next year if we don't already have an idea what we want to do. I'm worried about, first of all, our starting quarterback. I don't know what the heck's what he's gonna be like.
And that's the other thing is you need to have a dependable backup quarterback because now with Dak at his age, coming off a hamstring,
this is 3 injuries we're talking about.
And if you look over the last 3 or 4 years, the number of injuries that he's had, number of games he's missed,
catastrophic injuries,
right? That put him out for half a season or whatever it is. Yeah.
That was Rush's 13th career
13th
start.
career start. And so anyway, I mean, the knee jerk is, play the young guy, whatever. You also factor in you're going to Philadelphia, but I mean,
to me, the way this team is playing right now, I
don't think you throw him in there to say, "I want to see." You kind of got to know after all this.
I think they do know.
Yeah,
right.
That's the thing.
They do know
exactly.
That's right.
And
I think they would have been working him in
if they would have seen different
like what they're doing
camp,
with Guyton.
And if they would have, well, he is Guyton right now because if you see what happens in training camp in the preseason game, that was his chance to show what he could do, and he showed us just what he is right now. And I don't think we're not in the business of trying to develop him right now. Not right now. We could, if we're going to develop him, then we're going to start in the offseason if we're going to keep him.
See, and he's got no market value.
Exactly.
So if you want to re-sign him as the third guy again, okay, fine.
Yeah. And he's 24 years old, which is the same age as Michael Penix and Bo Nix. Guys that are rookies this year.
It's not too late for him. That's what you're saying.
That's right.
Who, by the way, played well, didn't he? Atlanta?
He did.
He started that was his first start?
Game, yeah, first
Penix?
start.
There were no touchdown passes. They had 2 pick sixes in that game that helped the matter.
Okay.
Yeah. And the one
one
interception that he did have went right through the hands of Kyle Pitts down the goal line.
No, he did well.
Yeah. And exactly what you want him to do, even though he didn't throw a touchdown pass. It's fine,
I mean, if you think about it, so in 2015, Romo was out. He was hurt. They weren't sure of him the next year, and that's when they started Kellen Moore, like maybe it was the last game of the season, to see what he had. And it kind of convinced him that 2016 he could be the backup quarterback, right? And then
Also convinced them they needed to draft a quarterback.
And needed to draft a quarterback, right.
Who turned out to be your starter for a division champion.
And then Romo
and then eventually would become the highest paid player in NFL history.
Kellen gets hurt in training camp. Dak gets hurt. I mean, Moore gets hurt in training camp, right? And then it's like, well, okay, I guess we got this guy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it. I just don't see the value of experimenting.
Well, now
everybody
others would say
they want to qualify the.
They want to see what he looks like, so why not play him now since he has no value?
Right.
That would be their counter to your argument. Mm-hmm. He has no value because you won't play him. So why don't you play him and then find out what kind of value you can get for him? See if he can raise his value.
Well, you're not getting anything for him because he's becoming a free agent, but. You're just finding out what he's got, and whether you want to re-sign him.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Well, you remember what happened to you guys? Was it 86? Mm-hmm. The last game of the season? Mm-hmm. I want to say they started. Oh, I forgot his name. They started the quarterback from Southern Mississippi,
Reggie Collier.
Reggie Collier. I think he played 2 series.
Yeah.
And it was like, get him out of there. He doesn't even know the plays.
No, Tom never did try to coach him that well. He never tried to coach
Really?
him. No, he didn't try to coach him because he has such athletic ability.
Or maybe it wasn't 80. That's 86 was. I forgot what year it was. Because I remember him playing in a bowl game 80.
Reggie Collier started one game in 1986.
It was 86. Yeah. Okay.
I think it was against the Bears or somebody.
Last game of the season.
Last game of the season was against the Bears. It was a 24-10 loss. And Reggie Collier went. Doug Flutie started for them. Steve Pallure went 14 out of 28. Reggie Collier 4 for 9 for 44 yards and 2 interceptions. I don't know if
somebody told me they had to help him with the play calls.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's.
No, Tom never tried to. He never tried.
Unfortunately, that was the.
I don't think that was Tom's.
That was the Ice Age.
That wasn't Tom's signing. It wasn't his signing.
Oh, okay.
No, and you can say what you want. Tom Landry used to try to make examples of certain situations, as most
that he wasn't a favor of.
Yeah. Oh, they just played better than us. Well, yeah, your game plan was it was set up for that.
And Collier may have this was the Ice Age where we don't have the play-by-play on Pro Football Reference. But Pallure hit Mike Renfro for the final touchdown of the game in the fourth quarter, which tells me Reggie Collier probably started that game through 2 picks, and then Pallure came in and relief.
That was it.
That's right.
Oh, I thought you already knew that.
Well, that's what I was just trying to confirm it. Yeah. So,
those 2 interceptions did it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for. We're back tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
Y'all are back tomorrow.
We're back tomorrow.
Yeah,
you're back.
We heard
tomorrow.
You have an excuse.
I got the family excused absence. Okay, all right. So you have
an early excused absence.
It is. It's the only time my daughter can do it. All right. You have a very Merry Christmas, and everyone else will see you tomorrow, Christmas Eve.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.